And we never set out to be famous or, be a big rock band or anything. It just, I don't know, it just happened.
Silverchair! And the winner is Silverchair.
After all these years.
Tonight, we follow the journey of Silverchair, the three boys from Newcastle, and the making of their new album, Diorama.
It was my real desire to reward Daniel's courage, because I haven't seen anything like it since I worked for Brian Wilson.
After all these years.
It's been a big year for the boys, from the highs of the arias
Silverchair
to the lows of Daniel's struggle with his health.
It was just there. I can't even when I think about it, I nearly cry. Oh, Jesus. There's a step beyond writing about pain. When you can express the pinnacle of happiness, then I think you've achieved the most artistically rewarding thing you can, so I'm moving towards that.
Well, boys, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you all. Now, a big year for you guys, of course. Diorama came out this year. Does it feel like you've actually released an album? Because you haven't really had a chance to get out and promote it much.
Kind of does, but just without the live aspect of it.
It's a little bit frustrating not to be able to get out and play.
It's such an incredible album. Was it something you intentionally set out to create because it's got this very unique sound?
I had all these positive experiences to draw from, and I had a lot of negative experiences to draw from. I just wanted it to be a vast palette of musical and lyrical colours. I just wanted to kind of, I guess, express every emotion that I'd felt up until that point when I was writing the record.
Diorama DVD then, where did that idea come from?
I'm not sure where the idea came from, to tell you the truth. I just remember, we've known Robert. He was the guy that shot the first video, and actually, he's always just been different places filming things, whether it be on tour, in the studio, or at different events. He's always there filming something. He's got archives and archives of stuff, but he was just there all the time, and I think after people heard the demos and realised what I wanted to do with the album, they just said it'd be interesting to kind of follow the creative process from this point. All right, are you ready to do the next one, Phil?
Oh, yes.
It's called One Way Mule.
One Way Mule?
Be nice to animals. It's a blind mule and it's just following its line of sight.
This story just gets sadder and sadder, this story.
It is pretty sad.
Okay, well, play me a little bit.
I remember being up at Daniel's place, listening to some of the first demos, and even they were like a couple of listens just to go and go, wow, this is, where does this come from?
I'm crawling back to you.
Silverchair began when three schoolboy friends decided to form a band, and they were just 15 when their debut album hit number 10 in the US.
No, we were pretty enthusiastic at that stage in our lives. We used to get excited if we had a gig. We were like, oh my God, we don't know what to do. Me and Ben would be running around his driving, yeah! We were the young band that used to enter and get consolation prizes.
Yeah.
We'd be like, they'd always do these encouragement awards.
Yeah, that's the one.
And we'd hear first, second, third, and a special encouragement award this year, which said, we don't normally do, and we'd always go, that's going to be us. When we won that competition, I think we were 13 or 14 years old, and Oh, we didn't know what it was going to lead to. We had no idea. We were just happy that we knew that it involved recording a song in a studio.
Their first single, Tomorrow, went #1 in Australia and was 1995's most played song on American modern rock radio. And how was it being so young? Did your parents have to tour with you?
Our dads came usually because we were just little boys, so we didn't have the strength to lift our equipment. I think when we were young, it was really good because we had, even when our record was like selling millions of copies, our first record in America, and we were over there, we just thought that was normal. I didn't know what was going on, I was just enjoying it, I was having a good time, and it wasn't till we finished touring for our first album where I started contemplating what we'd just done.
Body and soul, I'm a freak, I'm a freak.
On Freak Show, it was all about anger, which when you're a teenager, especially a teenage male, anger is almost an emotion that you're proud of.
Come on, abuse me more, I like it.
It wasn't until after Freak Show, when I was writing Neon Ballroom, that I started thinking that I wanted to write music with more substance.
Please, Diana, for as long as you're here when
There was a lot of people that were going through similar things to what I was going through, and I guess they just had something to connect to, whereas I didn't have a CD I could put on that kind of made me feel like I wasn't alienated. The first two albums we were just oblivious to everything, and the start of Neon Ballroom we were oblivious to everything. We just started getting more educated, I guess, as to how things work, because we were refusing to do lots of things, and they were saying, well, if you don't do that, then this won't happen and this won't happen. And if you don't play a radio show in America for this radio station, then they're linked to these other 150 radio stations and they won't play. And that was really the beginning of the end. That was really when we got too much knowledge and all became cynics and everything went downhill. I was just taking too many antidepressants. Everything was suppressed. Every single emotion that you could feel was suppressed. There was very little happiness and very little sadness. In 2000 was when I actually came off all the antidepressants. I just didn't know where I was, and everything was new to me, and I felt really, really emotional. Hadn't felt for a long time, but it was really harsh. Like I was feeling really happy one moment and just really down the next. I started writing and thought I had an album's worth of material, and then about 8 songs into it, I realised that I hated everything that I'd written. That just sounded too much like the last album. And I thought, in order to start fresh and really be happy with it, I've got to know that they're gone. I can't go back to that. I scrapped it. And I actually got the tape and pressed record and let it run.
Was there anywhere, even in the back, further back in your mind, when you're hitting a race that's going, what am I doing?
Yeah, the whole time I was watching it going, fucking hell. I was really nervous and kind of shaking and watching it all disappear. And then at the end of it, I just felt amazing. I just felt like, shit, that really took some balls. How I heard it for bands that I loved, like, for listening, for Frogstock, kind of listening to the whole grunge thing, they were bands that I loved, so that was the music that I played. With Freak Show, we were into a lot more heavier stuff because we were getting older and I was just getting angrier as a person. When it came around to Neon Ballroom, it wasn't so much about playing music that I was listening to, it was about playing music as an expression of myself and using it as more of, it's more of an art form. It's more creating something which is magical and something that you can listen to, and this album to me is really magical.
Take us through the creative process of Diorama.
Daniel was just bit by bit showing us some demos, and you definitely, that little bit of excitement factor was starting to, a bit of butterflies, a bit of,
I think it's going to be very different to what we've done before. We're all a little bit older and we're all a little bit better players, so I know the whole thing is just about, we all got completely different musical tastes, so when we all play, we kind of bring those different tastes in. There's heaps of harmonies. I like the harmonies, it's always fresh and new and it's good, it's always exciting. When you hear one of the new songs that Daniel's written, it's a bit of a surprise at first, but after playing it, for so long, you start kind of going, no, this sounds like us. It's a Chair song. Because we did start so young, you know, it gave us a lot of room to move. We've had quite a few years to evolve as players and as people.
I had multiple conversations with John. About getting someone who was not a typical rock producer. Just went through a whole heap of bios and I don't know, we'd listen to show reels and stuff of different people. And David Bottrell just really stood out. The impression that I got initially was that he was really open to being ambitious, and he wasn't scared by a lot of the ideas I had, which a lot of the other guys that I met were. They were kind of, when I was talking about ideas I had and when they'd heard the demos, I think they were a bit, they didn't really know how to take it. I think they just thought it was a kid with these stupid stoner ideas.
Like it doesn't the sections don't overstay their welcome, they don't kind of like drag.
Yeah, yep.
It's a little tight, but I think tempo-wise, although, you know what, it's not a pre-chorus now. It's like a pre-verse. It comes before the second verse, and it comes before the third verse.
That's correct.
And then once all the songs are done, what, do you all get together and start rehearsing?
Right now, at this stage, this is as good as my life ever gets. I mean, I can't imagine life being better. And I mean, everything is just in place. 18 months to 2 years of writing a record, and now we're rehearsing it. Document that onto a CD for the rest of time. There's this genuine feeling of excitement. It feels like everything's in place and we've kind of got this rough map and we can kind of follow it and see where it takes us.
And how cool was it to get the big orchestral sound in when they're saying, you know, we're going to get oboes and trombones and things like that involved?
When I was writing it, I wanted it to be very cinematic and filmic, and it wasn't a surprise to me because that's what I wanted to happen anyway when I was talking to Van Dyke Parks and Larry Mahubrick about the arrangements. Van Dyke Parks had worked with the Beach Boys and all these people that I was like, whoa, he would have been great, but I think he's dead.
I thought I was dead that third day.
I think I'm going to be raped by a kangaroo. Something's going to happen to me. I want to tell you something. It would be hog heaven if we had at least a trombone and a couple of flutes here and there with an oboe and 2 clarinets and a bassoon would be nice on something big. And I love 3 French horns.
All right, well, now what we have to do, Van Dyke, is speak to the money people and see what sort of budget we have available for the numbers that we're looking at. And then within the next at least 24 hours, we'll have all the answers for you.
All right, like, I'm not trying to be pretentious about this. I'm trying to strike a good balance between what I know and what I hear in your music.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
from the first conversation I had with him, I just thought, this guy's amazing, and right away we just had this really strong connection, and we both felt it.
It was my real desire to reward Daniel's courage, because I haven't seen anything like it since I worked for Brian Wilson. I haven't seen this kind of thing, just for a person who didn't need to do something, but demanded it of himself. I've just worked on 3 songs, but that's been a career. I mean, I was a brunette when I started this project, okay?
Tom hard at work behind the desk. Ben, he's concentrating very hard.
It's all very exciting. It's all very, very exciting.
Was it exciting for you being a producer this time round?
Yeah, I loved it. I really had a good time. I just had such a clear vision of what I wanted to do sonically and with song arrangements.
Maxie. Man with the plan.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Do you want to go from that actual spot?
Maybe, let's just go for a take.
And what's Daniel John's record producer like to work with? Don't listen to this answer. Is it easier or harder having the producer also being a member of the group?
I don't think it's any different. I suppose it's something that he was living and breathing for so long. He had such a clear picture, like he said.
I personally feel really kind of young and enthusiastic again. This album, it's about capturing a really positive energy. I don't think we've had this kind of enthusiasm for music since we were like 15. There's the driver. I'm a navigator. Left here.
When you start to record an album, do you have someone from the record company who comes in to oversee it and just make sure everything's going okay? Is that the A&R guy?
We were signed out of America rather than being signed out of Australia. So one of the things that came with that, which we didn't know at the time, was the American record company guy would be coming over and telling us what he liked and what he didn't like.
Because as soon as the dudes are there, it's not Danielson and the piano. And there they are right up front.
Rather than just hearing a piece of music and saying that's good, for what it is, he was saying that's good, but American radio works like this.
Well, let's assume that radio will play the breakdown section, which is fucking radical. But let's also assume that they won't play that section. Again, I'm talking radio here. I just keep thinking that, the verse is needed in this section here. You're gonna write melodic songs. If you don't follow your melody, then you're really throwing the listener off.
That's the most frustrating thing about the whole industry. It's just, there's so much crazy bullshit that goes on that people outside aren't aware of. It's just corrupt and sickening and disgusting.
I'm not winning here.
I'm not winning either.
None of us are winning, Dad.
We're all losing.
It was much more about, the rock quota
Yeah, I know.
of the record,
Well, they probably want the first single to be a rock song.
Yeah, they do, but there's a difference between writing a rock song and writing a rock single.
Found the lock to my dorm, and open the doors to my trust. Find love is true. The light in my darkest hour is fading.
Now, what impressed me was the way you stood your ground on this.
I was just standing my ground because I knew in my heart that there's no right or wrong when it comes to music. There's no right or wrong, there's no good and bad, there's only what people like and what people don't like.
Are you saying that you're just not willing to try anything different on that area?
Oh, yeah. Because I think it's perfect. Like, if I sing it another way and he really likes it and I hate it, then he's instantly got an option. Like, there's a decision to be made, whereas if I just outright refuse to come up with another way to sing it, there's no option. I think a lot of people underestimate the intelligence of the general public. In a lot of ways, it offends me when people say that Silverchair fans aren't going to get what I'm trying to do.
We try it without the brass.
He'd just come in and hear it and listen to it and try and think of how commercials are going to be, and he didn't give it the chance to grow on him. So you kind of had to be a believer, I think, that it could work.
He was dealing with a songwriter that wasn't writing songs to be hits, he was writing songs to be good. And in America, it's all about writing hits and making money and being famous and hosting shows on MTV, which there's nothing wrong with, but I didn't want to do it.
I was going to say, don't start going TV host or there'll be trouble.
See, now there's an example of me not wanting to do it.
Well, I'm with you because it takes you. To me, it takes you out. You're just in the zone.
It's great. I don't want to leave here yet.
Hearing how passionate all three of you are about Diorama, was it then frustrating when the album was released and you couldn't actually get out there and promote it 100%?
We were rehearsing every day, but Daniel just wasn't coming in because he just wasn't well, and we just kept pressing just in the slightest chance that he miraculously may wake up one morning and be fine. But we were so close and just rehearsing. Everything was sounding really good.
I can remember, I had my bags packed in the room, and it was the next day that we were supposed to fly out, and then we got the call in the morning no, we're not going. Daniel can't do it.
It's called reactive arthritis. I'm sure everyone in Australia knows that. Even if they don't even know who I am, they know what I've got.
Show us your knee. Gives it a little... Fuck, mate. Is it really fucked?
Oh, it's fucked.
You salute.
Oh. You're kidding me. It's so big, man.
Look at that compared to that.
I can't feel that. There's some fluid in there or something.
Oh, right. Oh.
What have you done? I just went to sleep, man.
Breathe in the night, that crusted, tired sunrise. Born again, the day brings young naivety. A laptop souvenir is worth the wait in silver and golden sun. You'll be home again, and I'll be home again.
So what was the worst it got for you?
The worst it got lasted for about probably 8 months, 6 to 8 months, and it was just like pretty much just bedridden or lounge-ridden. I just used to wake up in the morning and lie on the lounge, and I couldn't have someone sit on the same lounge as me because if they put pressure on the lounge, then it'd just be excruciatingly painful. And when I had showers, the water pressure felt like it was cracking my spine, and I couldn't stand underwater and couldn't stand on my feet because they felt, every time I put pressure on my feet, it felt like they were cracking and breaking. And
waddle on the wake, waking on the summer day.
it was just, bleh. I can't even when I think about it, I nearly cry. Oh, Jesus.
And after all these years, forget about all the troubled times. And after all these years, forget about all the troubled times.
It's not going to be better 100% for a couple of years, but I mean, now I'm functional, so it's good. I can wake up and walk, and I don't need a cane anymore, and I don't even have bad days as frequently as I used to, so I just have kind of slight pain in my joints occasionally and find it hard. I can't run. I still can't run. I try and...
Did you ever do much running though?
No, that's the thing. I didn't. It's like the touring. I didn't ever run, but now that I can't, I want to run.
Munificent, artless anesthetic, playing like a scared, enthusiastic pawn. After all these years, forget about all the troubled times. And after all these years, forget about all the troubled times. The troubled time.
Now explain this ring that I've seen on your finger today. Is there an importance to the disabled symbol there?
Well, I was in a wheelchair for a while, and my girlfriend was pushing me around in a wheelchair in Europe for a while, and I just thought, I saw it on the street once, and it wasn't even in a shop, it was just literally on the street on the ground, and I thought, actually, that's probably appropriate, and put it on, and I think I can wear it now with pride and look at it and go, I'm no longer in a wheelchair, that's pretty cool. And
how good has Natalie been for you through this whole process?
She's been amazing. Yeah, she just, I mean, when I was really sick, she was busy working on a movie and doing lots of stuff because she's multimedia these days. But yeah, she was amazing and really just was supportive, as was my family, and Ben and Chris, and everyone was just supportive. It was really good, but yeah, she was just amazing. And
because you guys lead a very private life with your relationship.
Yeah.
Is that intentional?
Yeah, definitely. The whole celebrity couple thing doesn't appeal to me. Unfortunately, that's what we are, so it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. That's what she's been good for, I guess, making me kind of stop worrying about it so much and just accepting it and deal with it and, yeah, don't worry about it. Because I used to be like, oh, paparazzi, no. I used to be like, they'd take a photo and then I'd feel sick for 2 weeks and feel like, I don't know what I felt like. I'm one of those people that's always in the tabloids, but you don't know what they're famous for.
And would you ever consider producing any of her songs down the track?
No, we don't. I don't think we want to kind of cross-pollinate. I think we want to keep our business separate. I don't want to draw any more attention to it than necessary. I mean, it's a private thing and people know about it and I'm not ashamed of it. But you don't want to be like, I don't want to invite more curiosity.
After all these years, forget about all the troubled times. And after all these years, forget about all the troubled times. And after all these years,
he lost the plot. We got a record deal, and the next thing we were in America on a tour bus, and every time you'd walk into a room, Ben's ass would be out the window.
And what about all these stories, Ben, of you with your ass out of the tour bus window? True or false?
No, there were a few, you know, bums kind of going on the show, but that was you know, a while ago. Like,
I was just telling the truth.
Hey, it's all right. Oh, it's all right.
Well, last time I guess everyone saw you, including myself, was at the Arias.
You excited, Daniel? You pumped up?
Very excited, yep. Should be good.
Are you excited to be seeing Daniel performing as well?
Very. He'll be amazing. He always is.
Up until about a week before, we didn't even know if we'd be able to do it, so anything would have been good.
Silverchair! What was going through your head? What was going through your stomachs?
It's amazing how nervous, I suppose you guys pretty nervous too?
Yeah.
Yeah, how nervous you get with just going out and having to do one song.
Silverchair.
That's probably one of the most nervous I've been in a long time. And
It's because it's on the telly.
yeah, you know.
Goes to Silverchair.
I just want to thank everyone who sent me get well cards, and my family and my beautiful girlfriend. Thank you.
If you didn't thank her on the night, do you get the feeling that she would have kicked your ass?
No, definitely not. She didn't. She was surprised that I thanked her. I didn't even think it was a big deal. I just thought, so, and then I got off stage and I was like, oh, you thanked your girlfriend? I'm like, so what?
Ooh, you must love her or something.
Yeah, I thanked her record company as well. Felt really amazing just playing together again, and every now and then I'd open my eyes and look out and the crowd was so enthusiastic and I was like, oh. we were just blown away with the vibe and the atmosphere in the room was just amazing. It was just, I don't know, I didn't know what to do with it. I was overwhelmed. It was good. Anything creative is going to have negative and positive reactions. I mean, there are obviously a lot of people that hear this album and say, I don't know what you're talking about, it's terrible. I didn't want to stupidify the whole thing, you know, just to be more popular in America. And, you know, it doesn't matter how good your house is or how fast your car is, it's pointless if you've lived a life of, you know, conforming to other people's standards just so you can become wealthy and be on the cover of a magazine.
I guess the big question is, where next? What are you going to do with an album like Diorama? Is it a pinnacle now that it's going to be hard to take that next step?
I'm not going to look at the next album and say, oh, I've got to top Diorama. I'm just going to look at it and say it's got to be, I've just got to be true to myself and maintain my integrity and not, I think it would be false to try and say, oh, I'm going to make Diorama but better, because it's not where I am. I've been through a lot in the last year and it's made me look at things differently, and everything that happens to you in your life affects what you write, so.
This guy is awake, okay? He's awake. He's obviously, he's very musical, and beyond all that, within that ability is an undefeated romantic, an informed optimist.
What are you going to have planned for the tour next year?
I think we're, at the moment, it's subject to change, but at the moment we're thinking of doing it in 2 sections, like a quieter section where it's more of a listening experience, and then doing a more kind of traditional Silverchair show. All I know is it's going to be really amazing playing the new stuff live, and we're going to rehash some old stuff.
Tickets are on sale tomorrow for that. I'm already camping out. I'll be there in the front.
That's great.
If not, you know, I'm happy to be a roadie.
No, we'll put you on the guest list.
Yes!
When I hear the finished product, when I hear this record, I think I look back on the last 2 years and say, well, I'm glad I did it, because I live for this music, and if I'm happy with the music, then I'm happy with my life. Say hi to your mum for me. Where's Silverchair?